What should I do in tech? Which is the best for me to actually learn when it comes to technology? I don't know where to start from, which to learn. These questions and a whole lot of that I have gotten. I got those questions very much because I share my background as a musician that transitioned into technology to become a cloud engineer and even now a technical mentor. There's been a whole lot of stories like that, but I think because I have been a musician for 20 years and then a cloud engineer from no experience. And so many people are asking, Dari, what should I do? Should I explore being a cloud engineer like you do? Should I be writing code? What language should I write? This is why I'm making this video to actually answer that question. So I'm not giving you a book answer right here. I'm sharing my experience with you, how I got to this point. So let's start from the basic part of the answer. Why? And that is the question I asked myself, starting out into tech. When I was going to make the decision on where to go, I had two options actually, either becoming a travel professional or becoming a technologist. So I had those two options. But what helped me was the question, why? Why on both cases? I know when I say why, many people will say, oh, the reason for becoming a technologist or an IT person is very simple. I want to make more money. That is very valid why. It's a very valid why. However, I want to say, you want to narrow down that why to you. Why do you want to actually go into technology, go into tech, go into IT? A senior colleague, a mentor, was sharing with us on a call, and he said the reason why he is in IT is to make more money, and that is his conviction, and that is fine. I needed to explore myself. I needed to go into another phase of me. That was why I chose IT that fits my strength, something that fits my strength, something that can also blend into my future, my plans, my visions that I have, something that can propel me to that vision. So yes, you want to start with why. Why do you want to come? Is it because a friend told you tech is the next in thing? Is it because tech is making money, as people say? Or you believe in yourself that you can actually make a change in the world also, that you can actually be a part of the solution to Africa problem when it comes to deficiency in technology experts, which is one of the things I looked at. So you want to look at why. Like the book Simon Sinek, start with why. So let's start with why. Why? Trust me, these are what I did. And it is just one thing that we always overlook. The Microsoft, Facebook, and all of those out products that changed life because they have their whys, a computer in every home. That's from Microsoft. So you want to check your why also. You want to check your why. Think of your why before you came in so that it serves as a propeller, a fuel to keep you going. The second thing is for you to actually check out your temperament and personality. It's very unconventional. Now, it is very interesting that for many people that have been successful and are able to stay as an engineer, as a software developer, check them most of the time. It suits their temperaments and their personality. I'm talking about the very successful ones, those that seems like they are born to actually be an IT person, like they are born to do it because they find it easy. And the very reason is because watch their temperament, watch their personality, especially their temperaments. It suits them. Now, technology is vast. When I say vast, it is vast. So you want to look at what is your temperament. One of the books I recommend to help you with that is The Spirit Control Temperament, Tim LaHaye. It will help you to know what your temperament is. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? For the introvert, there is a certain part of tech that you actually will suit you. I'll get into that in a bit. For the extrovert, there's a part of tech that will actually suit you. So you want to look at it. Am I an introvert? Am I an extrovert? I am an introvert. And that actually helps me when I was choosing where to go into. When I was thinking tech or travel. Being an introvert, I could sit at a spot, I could sit in one location and think through things on my own, just speaking within myself in my own head. And if you notice, that is one very big advantage for especially software developers, where you can sit and see problems and speak within yourself and think through to bring out a problem. You don't mind sitting on a spot, troubleshooting, writing code for hours, as against an extrovert who is more external. You are not very comfortable sitting all alone. You are a people person. You want to interact with people. So you want to check which of them Are you a melancholy, sanguine, phlegmatic, choleric? The truth is this: if you are an introvert, you may find it very much challenging taking up a tech role that actually deals with interacting with people. Talk about being a project manager, you may find it very challenging. And that's because you're an introvert. Relating with people will drain your energy, and you don't want that. And that is why you find some people who start and they're like, okay, I'm into managing project now, I'm managing products now. But then along the way, they fall off because somewhere along the line, it looks like this thing is draining my energy. I'm not giving my best for it. Or even as I'm giving my best, it seems like it's not the result I want to get, I'm getting. So you want to look at it. If you're an extrovert, look for roles that actually would make you interact with people more. Operations role will make you interact with people the more. Your colleagues, customers, sales representative for tech companies, you want to look into that. Those guys make huge bucks. You want to look sales, you want to look for sales consultancy and the likes as an extrovert. If you are the sanguine kind of person that is very good with color, you want to actually look into UI, UX and be able to design things, work with color, make things colorful, know how people are going to interact with a UI because you can actually tap into people's emotion as a sanguine. You find comfort in it because you are seeing things. As against if you are a sanguine and then you are working as a backend, it's going to be very frustrating for you. It's more of an abstract thing. You are designing things that looks very boring. So it's going to be boring to you. So look at that. So look at your temperament, look at your personality to help you narrow down if you really want to come into tech and what exactly or which part you were going to take. Take, for instance, I knew I was an introvert. I knew anything I was going to do in tech, don't put me in front of people. But I knew if it has to do with thinking, looking through problems on my own, something that will make me sit and practice. That was why it didn't give me any problem writing my certification in 1 week and learning about cloud extensively because I could sit and shut off all social engagements on my own. So very important. I needed to dwell on that. If you could crack that to know your temperament, right? Trust me, you will find success in any part you go. There's cybersecurity for you, design. So you want to look at your temperament. Again, I recommend you to read that book by Lahaye, Why You Act the Way You Do. Very, very key. The first thing first, like we said, is to know your why. The second thing is to know your temperament. The third thing, which is going to help a whole lot, that I did was to explore my experiences. And when I say explore your experiences or I explored my experiences, I really do. What have I done in the past? Coming into tech, how can I actually tailor what I've done in the past to become a technologist, as a professional? I'm telling you from my heart what I've done. So it's not like any textbook answer here. So looking at my past experience, I've been into music for a lot of time. Along the line, I picked up graphic designing. Again, did that, dropped it, because it doesn't look like it was suiting me anyway. Yes, while I could design, I tend to be a perfectionist, so I could spend a whole lot of time looking at just one dot on my design. Even though it's pretty good for those I designed, I got some recommendations, but to me, it wasn't feeling good because I was seeing a whole lot of mistakes with what I was designing. I could go back and redesign again, spending a whole lot of time, wasting a whole lot of time on just one design that a sanguine would have done and confidently push it out. So I looked at my past experiences. What are those things I've heard or learned in one place or the other that would actually help me position myself the role I was going to take up? So take, for instance, as a musician, it is very easy for me to sit and practice. So I could practice and practice and practice. Tailoring that to translate into me having the ability to troubleshoot, having the ability to actually achieve my objective despite any challenge. Because while you sit to practice, you practice and then one of the strokes go off your time on the metronome and you come back again and you practice, then you go again, take the bars again. I come back to practice over and over and over again until I get it. So imagine that being me troubleshooting for a business infrastructure. And that was what I told my interviewer then. The second thing, I had experience with tourism. Put that act of tourism to collaboration, to communication, because as a tour operator, you have to have the ability to communicate with the tourists. And that was one thing that channeled me into mentoring also. So I brought that out as a tour operator. Interestingly, you would notice I have not said anything about coding since. For me, my first target wasn't even to code because I knew I was not going to do it. and it was going to take me a whole lot of time. So again, that is where the experience comes in. You want to look at, coming from your experience, what is the lowest hanging fruit for you? For me, if it has nothing to do with writing codes, it is a low hanging fruit for me. So when I started as a tech support. I do not need to write code, because if I do, it's going to take me a whole lot of time. I might get discouraged at a point and I lost interest. Not to say that I will not be successful as a developer or a software engineer. Of course, now I write codes. I'm learning how to write Java codes now. I've learned how to do JavaScript before now. So now I'm going into it. I'm spreading out. But talking of coming in, my experience actually helped me to know that, see, boy, I've never been a fan of writing codes. Even when I do see them in school, I don't like them. We had a course in HTML and web design in school. I can't remember jack of what we learned. I just did it. And I got probably a B or C, or probably a C in that course. Right. So I knew if I was going to start as writing code, it was going to be a big problem for me. So I moved away from that, went for the low-hanging fruit, anything that has to do with services, or a bit of interacting or coordinating things, right? So tech support was a good one for me. By the time I was going to transition into cloud engineering, again, looked at it, cloud engineering, okay, there's a low-code entry for cloud engineering, so I could go into cloud engineering. I went there, right up. And that was why I could do well, I believe, was a very big contributing factor for me to do well in cloud computing. So you want to look at your past experiences too. What has worked for you? Look at it coming forward. If you are the type that you have been in love with mathematics right from time, if you go into an operations, you might be frustrated. But if you are the type that is good with numbers, you like mathematics, putting things together, abstract things, and all of those stuff, then you will know if you start with writing codes, analytics, you will do well. If you are the type that loved exploring, if you go with an AI path, you will do well, because you will be able to adopt all of those AI tools. You will not be overwhelmed. For someone like me, AI can be overwhelming, and that's because there are various tools that you can use. So it can be very overwhelming for me when it comes to AI. I just pick what I need there, and then I hands off the rest. But for you, AI will do for you. You could bring AI into marketing, content creation, solving business problems, even to writing code, because it works for you. And if you are the type that you are very flexible, bored with just one thing over and over and over again, if you are that type of person, hey, cloud engineering is there for you, because you would always find something new in cloud engineering. Just recently, a friend of mine was telling me that their business is actually having an issue and he's been troubleshooting for a while now, because there's a change in version of what their application was written in. Now you have to think of some new ways to resolve that. If you are that kind of person, you don't mind, come into cloud. It's good for you. Let's recap. Know your why, know your personality and temperaments, and third, know your experience. With these three things now, you can explore any part of tech that suits you. And with that, you can keep going. I wouldn't advise you to come into cloud engineering just for coming to cloud engineering sake. Yes, I've mentored people in cloud engineering that are doing well. And I will encourage you, of course, if you want to come into cloud engineering, why not? You could reach out. Would actually run some mentorship, run some of those concepts, and as much as possible, I'll help you. But then, if your temperament is not into the cloud engineering temperament or a DevOps engineer, you'll be frustrated, no matter my effort, no matter anybody's effort, no matter how much material, you will be frustrated and you will not be fulfilled. So instead of coming cloud engineer, why not go to cybersecurity, plus software design, a sales consultant, a sales rep for a tech company, a product or program manager for tech? Those are all roles in technology. Could become an AI expert, prompt engineering expert, because you could actually come up with words that could actually make machines, AI, to respond to you, chatbot. So you could do all of those things. There is no one size fits it all. Don't frustrate yourself to come into it because a friend is doing this, I will do this. If your friend is making good, yes. Did you study your friend's personality? Did it fit you? Is it one thing that you are comfortable with? You can take personality tests online too. Temperament, personality, cognitive tests. You can actually take them online. There's this thing we call Zodiac Sign. A whole lot of us know about it, but then we have actually underutilized it. This is the situation where you need to explore your Zodiac Sign, because some of us, our Zodiac Sign has been to brag to people, not to benefit us. The purpose of you knowing your Zodiac Sign or your numerology sign is to know your strengths and bring it out. know your weaknesses and work on it. So if you know your zodiac sign, check the characteristics of your zodiac sign. Look at your temperament. Put the two together. There is something in tech that will take care of you. Like I said, it's not a book answer for you. It's not a book answer. I really wish and hope that this has actually helped you to have an understanding of the best way to actually explore any IT related path you want to take. Just look at what works for you. Don't be intimidated. And there is nothing you do in tech that you won't have your money. Yes, some roles are now getting more paid than some roles, or some parts are getting paid more than some parts. See, if you go with that, you will very likely lose it, because times change. But then cybersecurity has always been high paid right from time. I have friends that are into software development that are earning far more than I am earning, even on the same level. So the point is, don't judge based on remuneration. It's a factor, yes. I actually look forward to hearing your testimonies that this has actually been a resourceful video for you. Let me know if there's any more thing I can do. Some of those resources I mentioned, Tim Lahaye's book, Spirit Control Temperament, and then Simon Sinek's Start With Why. Why? Very, very important. See you doing good. And of course, bring in some of those questions. We have a whole lot of questions we are supposed to discuss about. I will try as much as I can within my best to help you achieve the same result I achieved doing what I did. Thanks for watching this far. Cheers.